Hello, this video is all about doing my oil service on the Triumph Sprint ST955i from 99, and it's also got a leaky oil side glass which I will be replacing, and unfortunately the oil filter in this video is also going to be quite the challenge. The bike is already warmed up, so I just start by removing the oil drain plug and letting all the oil drain out. The bolt itself is located on the left side near the center stand, and it should be quite easy to remove. To let the oil drain quicker, I open up the filler plug that's located on the clutch cover on the other side of the bike. Since I want to replace the oil side glass, I also need to take off the clutch cover, and for that I just remove the rest of the fairing on the lower side of the bike. Before removing the clutch cover, I need to remove the clutch cable itself, which I do now. And unfortunately for the removal of the bolts of the clutch cover, the camera angle is a bit bad because I'm not used to filming with a chest rig. This is the first time I'm really doing it. With all of the bolts now taken out, I need to remove the cover itself. The cover unfortunately is very much stuck on the bike to the gasket, probably because it's never been removed before and it's been sitting for a while. So I do my best to gently pry it away from the bike using wood and anything that doesn't damage the cover and the material itself. With the cover now taken off, I do a little bit of a cleanup and then I inspect both of the gasket surfaces, the one on the cover and the one on the engine. And there's a lot of gasket material stuck there which I need to remove later when I replace the gasket, when I put things back together. But before I can think about how I put things back together, I need to remove the old oil side glass. And for that I take the cover with me and I remove the little plate that covers the oil side glass from the inside, which is just held in by two Torx screws. And then I gently push out the old oil side glass using a socket. Using the hammer on the side glass felt like it would take too much force and I might break something, so instead I end up using the vise and a block of wood to push out the old oil side glass. So after taking out the old oil side glass, I just take the cover and I give everything a nice and good clean. And then it's time to put in the new oil side glass, and I just do the reverse of what I did just now. and I used a vise and a block of wood to gently push in the new oil side glass. Afterwards, I have to fight the gasket material that's still stuck on the cover. After I've cleaned all of the remaining material from the gaskets from both the engine side and the cover side, I clean up both of the surfaces with a little bit of brake cleaner, and after that I take a little bit of gasket maker and put a very light coat on both the engine side and the cover side, just so that the seal sticks to it a little bit better and to make sure that it's really sealing all of the oil. Now to finish everything up, I put back on the cover, I hook up the clutch cable again, and then I just screw in all the screws. With the oil side glass replacement done, it's now time to get back to the actual oil change. And the next step is removing the filter. The filter on this bike unfortunately sits in a recess inside of the oil pan, and it's really not easy to get by. And in this case, the filter has been on for a long time and it's very, very, very tight. It's the tightest oil filter I've ever had to remove, and it's quite the ordeal that I've had to get it out. After trying to remove it for a bit, just using my hands, I realized that it's just not moving at all, and I switched to a large pipe wrench. And after realizing that the pipe wrench isn't doing anything either, the next step is what people usually do, and I hammer a screwdriver through the filter and try to turn it with that. Unfortunately, everything that's happening is just both the pipe wrench and the screwdriver, when trying to move the filter, just crunch the metal of the filter and nothing is working. So after laying the bike on its side and trying everything I could, the only thing that ended up working was taking a thick metal washer and welding a nut on the other side and drilling in holes that fit up to the holes in the oil filter, and then putting screws in there, and then just using a wrench to turn the nut that's welded to the washer. And even that had its difficulties, and it just ended up bending all of the screws, and I had to fight a lot. But in the end I got off the oil filter, and then I took the new one, put on some oil on the O-ring, and just put it in hand tight like you're supposed to. And I hope that if I ever do another oil change, this one will come out like it should. So now, after everything I've done, I've put back in the oil drain plug and I'm filling in the new oil, and after that I'm starting the bike just to see if everything works again. After putting in the new oil, all that remains is cleaning up, and that means I take the old oil and put it in a canister so it can be safely disposed of. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my struggle a little bit, and I hope to see you again on another video in the future. Goodbye!